Today, I'm going to tell you the most important thing you have, and I'm going to answer a few more questions, few more important questions which should be asked and which should be answered. The questions like why companies spend billions of dollars for improving their user interface, why a terrorist plant bombs, why a small baby cry when nobody is around him, why a teenager dress so well in his teen when even when in his childhood he was not even aware that what he is wearing. So let's keep these questions aside for a minute and let me tell you a story of Andrew Carnegie. Who is Andrew Carnegie? Andrew Carnegie is one of the biggest businessmen in the history of America. So he was the he was a very big American businessman in 90s. So those was the time when there was no internet and pla- uh, people should made manufacturing, people should plant a factory and start manufacturing something to make money. So those were the hard days, and in those days, Andrew Carnegie became successful in a short span of time. So, um, so what happened is the U.S. government suspect him. Uh, the U.S. government thought that there is something suspicious about this man. Why? How he can make that much amount of money of in a short time span? So the US government interrogate him and ask him questions and know everything, and they want to know everything about this man. They interrogate everything and everything was clean. That guy didn't do did any didn't did any malpractice. And the interrogator, the officer, asked asked the officer asked Andrew Carnegie that how he did that, how he made that much amount of money without any malpractice in a short time span. So the Andrew Carnegie replied that I can grab my attention, I can keep my attention in a particular thing for 5 minutes at stretch. So the guy looked at him weirdly and said, "What is the big deal in that?" So he said that you should try then. So the officer closed his eyes and tried to keep his attention on his breath, but he was not able to do that. In a matter of seconds, uh, his mind was running here and there. So Andrew Carnegie said, "This is my secret. I can keep my attention uh, in a particular thing at stretch for 5 minutes." So, similarly, this is the biggest reason. Just tell me if you want to go somewhere and you keep changing your direction in every 2 minutes, how you're going to get somewhere. And the the big concern is the average attention span of a person of a of a average person just two is just 6 seconds, 7 seconds, or maybe 8 seconds. If you're going to change your direction in every 7 seconds, do you really think you are going to get somewhere consciously? You can be there accidentally, but you need stupid amount of luck to do that, and we all know that everybody don't have that amount of luck. So it's quite very important to keep your attention on something. That's why the social media is stopping you from being successful. You have the most precious thing. What is that thing? Let's ask those questions once again. Why social why this big social media company spend billions of dollars to to improve their user interface? The answer is attention. Why terrorists plant bombs? To grab your attention. They want your attention. Why a small baby cry? For your attention. Why a teenage dress so well? Attention. All of these questions have the same answer: attention. Your attention is one of the most important thing in the social world. So, and there is a much bigger concern. Let's say if you practice piano, if you practice piano for 7 hours a day or 8 hours a day, what you will become in the next 6 months? You'll get better. Can you play piano on international stage? No, but you will becoming better and better and better every day. What if you play piano for the next 5 years? Maybe you can. What if you play piano for the next 20 years? You'll be good. You'll be an expert in piano. You'll be one of the best in the world. So 8 hours daily, if you play piano, so what you will become? Now let's say you practice 16 hour a day piano, just double of that, for 6 months, for 1 year, for 5 year, for 10 year, for 20 year. What you will become? How good you will become at playing piano or any other sport. Now, but what we are practicing 16 hours a day, not even 16 hours for more people, that is even more. We are practicing distraction for 16 hours a day, and then people get amazed why they are so good at it, because they are practicing it for hours and hours and hours, just browsing on their phone. Now let's say just then they get amazed. Now people get amazed why they are so good at distraction. And if you are keep getting distracted, I have already tell you that if you are going to change the direction of your thoughts in every 7 seconds, if you can't keep your attention on something for even 7 seconds, how you are going to make something meaningful in your life? I want to ask a question from you, and I want to stop this podcast by asking this question: that is your life is worthy? You should ask this question to yourself, because if it is, then you have to pay attention to it. Thank you so much for listening, and hope you like the podcast. And if you like it, just leave a comment. And if you are listening this to Apple Podcast, just make a comment and let me know that what I can improve. Thank you so much for listening.